apart. What's the difference? It's not their legs, it's not their lungs. It's in their head, especially in the conversation they have having with themselves while they compete. Today we are dividing deep into the athlete self-talk, what his science says, why it works, and exactly how elite performers use their inner voice as a weapon. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a serious competitor, this video could change the way you train or compete forever. Why self talk matters in sport. Every athlete has an inner voice. The question is whether it's a helping or hurting. In sport, the margin between winning and losing is a razor thin. At the elite level, athletes are often physically matched. What separates the podium from the pack is mental, and self talk sits at the center of that mental game. Sports psychologists have studied self talk for decades. The consistent findings athletes who use deliberate, structured self talk perform better. They maintain focus longer, recover from mistakes faster, manage pressure more effectively, and push through physical discomfort more successfully. A review published in Perspective on the Psychological Science analyzed 32 studies on self-talk in sport and found that self-talk intervention improved performance across the wide range of sport, from tennis and basketball to swimming and track and field. This is not a soft skill. This is performance too, as real as strength, training or technique work, and most athletes never deliberately developed it. There is two type of athlete self-talk. When it comes to sport, when talk breaks down into two main categories, and both have their place: motivational self talk and instructional self talk. First would be motivational self talk. It designed to boost effort, energy, and confidence. Think, let's go. You have trained for this. Push or I'm strong. This type of self talk is the most effective for tasks that require effort, endurance, or emotional intensity, like the final 400 meters of the race or a heavy last set in the gym. Instructional self talk is more technical. It focuses your attention to or on techniques or tactics. High knees, stay low, watch the ball, breathe. Research consistently shows this type work best for skill based tasks that requires precision and focus, like a golf swing, a free throw, a serve in tennis. Here is the key: matching, like matching the type of self-talk to the type of the task matters. Using motivational self-talk when you need precision can actually hurt performance by shifting focus away from techniques, and using overly technical self talk when you need raw effort can slow you down. Elite athletes learn to switch between the two depending on what the moment demands. What happens in the brain? Let's talk about what actually happens neurologically when the athlete uses self talk. When you verbalize, even internally, your brain's language centers activate. This creates a second layer of processing on top of what you are physically exercising. Essentially, your inner voice can act as a real time coach, directing attention managing emotions and regulating effort. Studies using brain image have shown that the self-talk, "Hi Alexander Joel, hi, how are you, and where are you from?" Studies using brain imaging have shown that the self-talk actively the prefrontal cortex, the part of brain responsible for decision making, planning, and emotional regulation. This is critical in sports where the decision happens in fractions of seconds, and emotions like fear, frustration, or excitement can detail performance. There is also a direct link between self talk and the automatic nervous system. Negative self talk, "I can't do this, I'm going to lose," triggers a stress response. Cortisol spikes, M- muscle tension increases, fine motor skills deteriorate. You literally perform worse. Positive control self talk does the opposite. It can calm the nervous system, reduce perceived efforts, and keep the body in an optimal performance state. Your thoughts and your psychology are not separate, one drive the other. Let's talk about the choking problems and how self talk fixes it. Choking under pressure is one of the most studied phenomena in sports psychology. Here's what happens: a high stake moment triggers anxiety. That anxiety causes the athlete to consciously focus on movements that are normally automatic. A basketball player thinks about the m- mechanics of free through they have taken a 10,000 times. A golfer analyzes their grip mid swing. That conscious attention disrupts the automaticity of well practiced skills and performance collapse. Self talk is one of the most effective intervention against the choking because it gives you mind something specific to focus on, preventing it from over analyzing movement. A study published in the Journal of Sports and Exercise Psychology found that athletes who used a single cue word before executing a skill, like smooth for a tennis serve or flow for the gymnastic routine, significantly reduces the choking under pressure compared to the athletes who received no intervention. The cue word works as an attentional anchor instead of spiraling into anxiety or overthinking mechanics. The athlete's mind locks into the cue and the body does what it's been trained to do. Let's talk about the negative self-talk in athlete, the patterns to break. Let's look at the specific ways to negative self-talk shows up in athlete performance because awareness is the first step to change. Yes, obviously it is the first thing to change in ourselves. The brain loop. After a mistake, a a shot, or a stumble, a bad call, a athlete inner voice goes into the blame mode. And that was so stupid. I always do this. Why can't I get it together? This loop pulls attention backward to the mistake when it needs to be forward on the next play. Studies show athletes who ruminate after errors take significantly larger to return to peak performance. The prediction spiral: I'm going to lose, I can't beat this person, this is too hard. These predictions become self fulfilling. When you expect to fail, your body braces for the failure, and that physical tension, that hesitation, that reduced effort eventually actually increases the chances of failure. Comparison talk. They are so much better than me. I don't belong on this field. Comparison, self talk, destroy confidence, and shift focus from on own performance to the factors outside your control. It's the performance killer, the pain amplifier. And in endurance sports, especially self talk around the discomfort is a critical. I can't take this anymore. This hurts too much. Has shown that negative self talk dramatically pers- increases perceived exertion, meaning the same physical effort feel harder when accompanied by negative internal commentary. Identify which pattern you fall into is the first step toward breaking them. Self talk strategy used by the elite athlete. Now let's get into the good stuff, the actual technique used by the elite performers. First technique would be the cue word system. Choose one of these short words that anchor you do your best performance state. These words should be the personal meaning and connected to how you feel when you are performing at your peak. Practice using them in training so they becoming automatic triggers in competition. Example: locked in, light attack trust. Technique 2, the mistake reset protocol. Develop a specific self-talk sequence for after errors. Many elite athletes use a three-step process: acknowledge that happened, release, let it go, focus, next play. This prevents the blame loop and gets attention back where it belongs. The present moment. You can attach a physical gesture to the reset to this reset, like clapping your hands or taking a deep breath to make the transition move automatic. Yes. Third technique would be return the pressure. Instead, I'm nervous, try I'm ready. Instead of this is huge moment, I might fail. Try this is exactly where I want to be. Research by the sports psychologist Alison Wood Brooks found that the simply reframing anxiety as excitement, using the words excited rather than calm, led, led to measurably better performance. The physiologically state is similar. It's the interpretation that changes.